I hope you have some love to put in your heart. If you don't have any,
Hello.
I suggest you get some. Ladies and gentlemen, this person here on the line has been putting love in our heart for the longest while, and a bunch of us didn't know it. Well, not me, I knew it. Ladies and gentlemen, in the background, the sound of the one and only Novel T, which means on the line, I get to ask, who that?
Hey! Hey, hey, hey! It's novelty.
Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Novel T. How are
What
you
a one.
doing?
I am, well, is splendacious a word?
Is your word, and we're going to
I
work
am,
with it.
I am splendified. How's that? I'm wonderful. I'm wonderful. Giving God praise, giving God thanks for life. You know?
Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah.
You are Reggae Global Radio's Artist of the Month of November. And I cannot be more happy that you are the Artist of the Month in my month.
In your month, man, you're
In
so
my,
special.
of course.
You lucky I'm artist of the month in your month. No, it's really, listen, this is such a blessing. Very unexpected it was.
Yes.
It farthest from my mind, it blew my mind when I got the call, and I'm still kind of processing it because it's just a blessing. You don't know what's going to happen when you do things. You just pray that it will fall into the right places, and God has been good. So I'm just glad that it's on your month. How about that?
I am elated. I'm just beside myself.
Yeah, man.
As a matter of fact, I'm beside you.
Listen now, hey, let me tell you.
Listen,
Oh, but
so
it's good. It's good.
for,
It's
for
good. It's
for
all
those
good.
of you, for those out there that are new to novelty, who is novelty? How long you been doing this music thing?
Lord, my dear, when Saltfish they sing Shingle House top. But
Hey, listen, there's some people from Europe that don't
let me
know
clean it up.
saltfish and don't know shingle.
Let me clean it up. No, no. Well, you see, I'm just trying to appear a little bit older than my 23 that I am. But
Yes.
but no, I've been doing this thing for a while. I could go all the way back to high school, but we won't. I can just tell you that I've been. My mother always said to me, you popped out of the womb singing, and I always say that to people because she has never known a time when I wasn't singing.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say that professionally, the early 90s is when my actual professional career kicked off. But I have been singing for a long time,
Oh yes.
a long time. But when I started to, kind of take it seriously and decided to start, performing more live, I was headlining with quite a few bands from Jamaica, then coming up here in the 90s. I started working different front lines for different bands and, doing a lot of backup. Studio work
Mm-hmm.
for some great names too, and working on shows
Go
alongside a
ahead.
lot
Name
of
drop.
people.
Name drop novelty. Name
Name,
drop.
I don't like to name drop, but well, I have to start with my favorite person who is my favorite female artist was Marcia Griffith. I remember the Midem show in the 90s when
Mm-hmm.
I had to back, was one of the persons who backed her up. And, I did the backup for Pam Hall, Ken Booth when they came into town, different times.
Mm-hmm.
I shared stage with Third World. We were in that, they used to have this big, I forgot what they used to call that show, but there was Third World, there was Bob Andy, there was all these different people on the shows, and I would be either back up with them or sometimes singing along depending on what the program called for.
Right.
And then I was playing with some of the major big bands around town, like the Mighty Vikings. I was their front line for like from 96 until like 2012, frontline
Mm-hmm.
for them. That was a big band based in Miami, which I know you know the Mighty Vikings. You probably know the name from Jamaica, from um, maybe they were in the early, I don't know what it was, 60s, 50s. But
And,
you know,
and
they
you're
all
saying
moved
that
on.
I would know them?
No, no.
What are you trying to say,
You,
Novelty? What you trying to
you
say?
collectively, general out there in the stratosphere, whomever is listening. But you know, there was the lead, one of the lead for that, the one of the original members came, was in Miami, and he started, you know, a band in the 90s called the Mighty Vikings, and he was the only original members from the original band back in Jamaica.
Right.
So, you know, I'm sure a lot of people know them. So, you know, they approached me, and I, you know, started to, you know, do their frontline lead singing for them. And then, you know, the band grew to like 15, and I did a lot of other bands, you know, from Coral Springs to Miami to in between.
Right, right, right.
So,
Nice.
lots of that. And then eventually, you know, I decided to start focusing on recording, because you could sing all you want if you don't put anything down and really have something, you know, on, like they say, on paper,
Mm-hmm.
it's all for naught, really, you know, because you get a lot of accolades when you sing live and so forth. But when you don't have something that people can go home and listen to, it's like you can be
Right.
forgotten. So it doesn't matter how
Yes.
well you sing. So it's, you know, it's, and you can affect more lives by actually putting down what's inside of you, going into the studio and getting it out of you, and you know, making it a lasting memory, so to speak. Because you know, you perform tonight, and they go home and they say, "Boy, that was nice," and but months pass and you fade, your memory fade. But
Right,
you know,
right, right.
you want to leave something, and thank God I've been able to do that. It's in a rough road, you know. We pretty much did it on our own, you know,
Mm.
to start out with, and now we are collaborating with a you know, a bunch of really awesome people. Um,
You are independent, right?
yeah,
So
I don't have
what
a
has
big
the
label backing me right
what has
now.
the
My own.
business been like? The music business been like as an independent artist for you?
Mhm.
I know you said it has
Um,
been a little bit of a struggle, but you know,
yeah, it's challenging, but you know, okay, it depends on how you approach it, because if you just approach it from doing, and everybody have a different outlook on this. You know, at first I wasn't approaching it from the standpoint of, boy, you know, I want to go make it big and be a big artist out there, and you know, I want to be noticed and stuff like that, because honestly, I didn't know whether I wanted it or not. I just knew that I like to sing,
right.
and I knew that, you know, based on what I was told at the time, I was encouraged because people thought I had a good voice, or you know, good ideas, and I was encouraged to start recording. And my husband and producer Howard Perry was like the main person to push me to do that,
Right,
because
right.
otherwise I would just be frontlining and singing and having a good time. So, but we decided to start doing it. But when we initially started, we would work with different people who would come with, you know, good stuff to say. Oh, I can, you know, I can do this for you. I can show you how it's done. I can put you on the map. Blah blah blah. But in the end, they kind of like wasted years and man hours of my time in studio, and disappeared, and nothing happened, and you know, whatever. So that went on for a while, and then you know, you kind of just didn't chase it down. You just kind of said, if it happened, it happens, you know.
Yeah, whatever.
But then we started to do our own, put it together and say, okay, let's do this. Like we started in the 90s. We had to take a hiatus because of personal stuff, and then in the early mid 2000, we decided, let's try this again to do our own stuff, because by that time you kind of learn more about the industry.
Right.
So saying all of that to say this, I didn't go into it be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna, you know, be a star and this and that, because then I would be, oh, the industry's so hard and you know, and this and that. But I just kind of did it with like, okay, whatever happens happens. And yes, it's been rough, because you realize that you can't, after you're done, you can't just expect, oh, everybody's going to play your songs and it's going to be hunky dory, and you know, you're going to,
No,
you know,
that's
like
not how
people are
that
just going to
goes.
ask you for it, like you know, you it's not that easy. You know, you really got to put the work in. You got to I always say this thing is not about how much you can sing, or you know, how much how hard you work, or whatever. It's about relationships, you know. Everything is about relationships. It's about you getting to know people, people getting to know you. And there's always the higher power at work, you know, because like my mother said, work for you can be unto you. What is
Right?
for you, right? What is for you can be on for you. And when the time is right, it will happen. No matter what age, what time. If that's the right time, that's the right time. And if it's for a short span or a long span, that's up to God. So yes, I've had some disappointments. People have given me 6 for a 9, or people have been downright um I don't want to use any words that could yeah, but there have been some prejudices, as
Listen,
far as man, woman, the age, this, that, and the other, everything.
people can be real horrible, but
Hmm.
you know what? It how you move on from that experience
Yes,
is what is important. Your
yes, yeah.
expectations may be too high of that individual,
Hmm.
and the disappointment then comes when that person is not living up to your expectation.
There you go.
How about
There
you
you
just
go.
set the bar for them low, and
Hmm.
when they meet that bar, you're not disappointed, and when they exceed
Hmm.
that bar, then all the better.
Exactly. Well, like I said, I never went in with a bar to begin with, right? So I just kind of, but when persons approached you and you say, you answer certain questions, or you think, okay, then they're joking around, or their ulterior motives are not, they're not on the up and up. And I didn't have time for that. And I, like, there are people who want it so bad that they would do anything to get it. I was not one of them.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that might sound bad, like, oh, you don't want it enough, but I don't believe in selling my soul or compromising myself. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I didn't go after it with whatever it takes. I worked hard, and there were lines that were drawn. So, I wouldn't let the things that came deter me. I just focus on, let's just make some songs, let's just put it out there, and whatever happens, happens. You know.
A comment here in the Reggae Global chat room. You
Mhm.
have left a positive marking on my heart. I have had the pleasure to see you perform live, and I was amazed. Thank you.
Oh,
That was fancy
oh!
font.
Don't let her show you whoever fancy is. Don't let her show you my the check I put in her bank account to say that. No, thank you so much. I have been blessed, especially in the last few years, when luckily the songs I did started to resonate with people. And you just, like they say, all you need is one person sometimes to just like your stuff and start talking about it. And then it goes. And it doesn't have to have a fast rocket trajectory, but it slowly goes into the corners that it needs to go into,
Right,
and you
right.
find the people that are like-minded eventually, that just comes your way. And when you believe in the power of attraction, and the power of thought and spoken
Hey,
word and stuff,
yes.
you actually bring things towards you and speak them into being. And that's all I've been doing. Not too much. I go on Facebook, I promote, I do as much work as I can in the time I have. I talk to people. I try to sing when I get a chance to sing. And I just found myself with nice people following me, in recent. And so I just give God thanks. I can't say it enough. God is good. And I can't take credit, because I don't have the time to do as much as it takes to really promote, and I don't have the resources. But with the people, yourself included, who I just met a few years ago, and immediately I felt like you were my brother. I remember when I met you, probably in person, because I'd met you online, but in person I met you 2 or 2.5 years ago at a
It's only
function
that?
I sang. When I did a Valentine's Day function, and you passed by really quick, when Melissa Jane was there
Yes.
at what's the place called
I think that
again?
was that one at Crave?
No, the one before, not Crave. Where the band
Or that one
jeez,
was in the garden.
what's it? The Gardens. The Gardens.
Yes.
Yeah, it's with Michael Slash, and I think some Everton
Yes.
put that on, right. And that's when I met you. It was dark. I couldn't even see your face, but we hugged, and it felt like we knew each other a long time. And you had to go to a rehearsal, I think. But
Yeah. I hear
things
my
like
hugs
that.
do that.
Yeah, your hug made the difference. But I've been blessed. Like I said, I've met people are very skeptical of social media, but so far, you are able to. detect good from bad. I've been able to, and I've met some wonderful people on social media that I've never known before in my life, and they have been pivotal in supporting me,
Yes,
and they've come
yes.
out and they've, made a big deal about my performances, and made sure to let me know that they enjoyed it. And that's like the greatest feeling. So again, I can't be thankful and grateful enough, you
Yeah,
know.
you can't be too grateful, huh?
Can't be too good. There's no such thing. There's no such thing, and people might get tired of me saying, gratitude is a must, or grateful, or, God, God above all our praises. But when I think of where I'm coming from, a lot
Mm-hmm.
of people don't know my background. And that's why recently I started like posting certain hashtags, because people need to know that I yeah, I was born and raised in the Augustown Hermitage area in Jamaica, just below Mona. I mean, I don't know what below, where it's up or down in Jamaica. I kind of
Yeah.
know the signs here more. But I was born in a little place called Peyton Place, a little lane just before you get into Hermitage and down the hill to Augustown. Just a little lane going up in there, home delivery,
Mm,
a place called Peyton Place. And then I was raised, my family kind of spread out between Augustown and Hermitage, which is like side by side
right.
towns in Jamaica. So that's where I was raised before I moved on to the Mountain View area, where I spent the rest of my close to adult life, and left in my mid 20s. So, I've been in areas, and I know what it is like to struggle,
Right, right.
and when I see where I've come from, and the things I've been through since then, and I'm still standing, I know,
Mm.
like we say, who could it be but Jesus? You hear the older
Yeah.
people in church say, who could it be but Jesus? Well,
Yeah.
it's true.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's it's only God. It's nothing I've done, but I give praises, and I'm forever grateful every day when I open my eyes, because I know that I'm still here for a reason, and this might be the reason.
How many of your songs does your life is your life reflected in? Do you
hmm
know? Because you
Quite a
have some
few.
covers and you have some that you are your originals.
Yes. I venture to say that most of them either have a touch of what I've experienced or what others close to me have experienced, but quite a few of them. I mean, if you name them, I could tell you what, that, yeah, this was about this, or this was, but
All
for the
right.
most part, there's always something included in my close experience.
Okay, let's name a few of them. Let's talk. Let's start with one that I can't help but bounce to and just smile whenever I hear it.
hmm
I guess it's because my own thoughts. I don't know.
hmm hmm
Howard, forgive me. What is just my own?
Howard, forgive you. It
Boom boom,
depends.
boom
Boom,
boom
boom.
is
Yes. Okay.
what connection to novelty does boom boom
hmm
have?
Yeah, Boom Boom was born straight out of my heartbeat. Boom Boom,
Your literal heartbeat.
my literal heartbeat. Because every time I saw that person, my heart skipped a beat.
Yes.
Well, that's only a part of the story.
Uh huh.
I'm fascinated with the heart, to be honest. And I've always wanted to write a song about the heart and the heartbeat and how it feels. But you know, when you care about somebody so much that every time you see them, or when you're around them, they affect you. It's sometimes even in a bad way, because what they do matters so much. It kind of make your heart race. Well,
Yep.
listen,
Yeah.
that's exactly how I felt about my producer husband.
Trumpet
And
player.
my trumpet player extraordinaire,
Yes.
Howard Perry. And so but in general, I wanted to write a song about the heart. But every time I thought about it, I started thinking about, when we met, and how I felt, and what and throughout the years, that stuff. And I was just driving one day on my way home, and I started to hear that I want to write a song. I started to hear a boom 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 boom, and I started kind of say it to myself in the car. I said, my heart goes boom 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 boom. And I'm like, that sounds like a song. So I started talking into my phone, and by the night I came home, I was at the table, just finished. That was one of the fastest songs I ever wrote.
Wow. Let me,
Yeah,
for those who
I
don't know
finished it
it,
in one night.
for those who don't know it, let me give you a taste. I'm not giving you the whole thing, I'm giving you a taste of
Sorry,
it.
Colin.
All right.
I see this fundamentally. Oh, stop it, stop it, stop it.
Every time I see your face, every time I hear your name, every time I see you smile, my heart goes, boom, 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 boom. Every time I hear your voice, every time you say my name, say my name. Every time you touch my face, my heart goes, boom, 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 boom.
Novelty.
Yes, sir.
Did it go boom boom boom?
My heart skip a beat. Just that deep baritone you're using there kind of making my heart skip a beat. So you better stop. I'm have to tell Perry. Perry. Yeah. But yep, that's boom boom. I did it. I wrote it, and actually I went to the studio and did one take. Boom. That's not one of the songs that I have to take over and over and over. I
Yeah.
did that. That song kind of just was to be when it came about. It was just one of those things. So when I did the main recording of that, it was just one shot and it came out right. And then I went back and did like the fillers, and
Right.
that was it.
All
So
right.
and actually a lot of people love that song.
What,
I
what
wonder
is
why.
not what is not to love about that song? That's what I want to know.
Yeah,
That song
I
is
know.
wicked.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Here.
I happen to think it's one of the better ones in terms of just the idea and the organization of it, and everything can always be better, and the more you do things, you move on and get better stuff,
Right.
whether it's better production levels or better musicality or whatever. But the idea of the song and the arrangement, I think is one of our best.
All right. Tell me about this one real quick.
Why you gotta move so fast?
How did I know you were gonna ask me
Don't want no man in a
that? Look, I have an issue with that. I have an issue with that. I have a pet peeve of that.
Ladies and gentlemen, that one is called Man in a Hurry.
Man in a
Says
hurry.
you don't want no man in a hurry.
Argument done. Me not have to explain nothing more. It's done. Y'all know what I mean. Pet peeve. Do not be rushing in and out of my door, please. I can't be bothered with all that.
When you come by, stay a while. Take your time.
Yeah, look, there are other things to do. We can talk. We
Yes.
can commiserate about things. We don't need no road hog around here, so hit and run thing.
So that one too was of your experiences.
There have been people who have come my way, come out of my business. But needless to say, they're not here now because it wasn't gonna work.
I don't know. You probably should have done your version of Slow Hand. I don't know.
Right. That song is another one of my favorites. So yeah. It's off the line of, I guess, off that line. Enough said, y'all. Don't pull me tongue tonight.
No, we don't have enough time. We don't have enough time for me to get it all out of you tonight.
Let decency prevail, Lord. Yes.
All right.
Oh, good Lord.
Let me calm down the masses. Let me calm down the masses.
Yes, all right.
Now, there's one that had been tearing up the place in South Florida for a long time. And let me just play a piece of it.
Yeah. No, no, no. Eh. Tough like a diamond, strong like titanium. Tough like a diamond, knock me down, but I won't stay down.
sounds like what you started talking about when you mentioned Augustone and Mountain View. This right here sounds like that aspect of your life put to music.
Yes, absolutely. That and it even became bigger than that. I mean, the thing grew once I started thinking about writing that song. It was initially born out of my own experience with things that have happened to me that have literally knocked me off my feet.
Mm,
And you felt you couldn't come back from it, but you kept almost like you just kept digging your heels in and deciding that you're not going to stay down
right.
and that this thing won't take you out.
Yeah, yeah.
And that was how it started in my mind when I started writing this song. But the more I thought about the song, the more the turmoil that was going on in America at that time, like around the end of 2018 and 2019 to the beginning and even through to the end of 2019, things just started to intensify, and it came to me so strongly, and kind of rest on my heart so much every morning, every night. What our people of color was going through and
Right.
have been going through,
Mm-hmm.
and then it evolved into not just being about us but about everybody who is being oppressed in any way, who's being downtrodden, who's been put down, who's being told, you can't amount to anything, look where you're coming from, or who are you to try to even stand up in the face of this? We're going to crush you. It's
Right.
just like all of that kept flooding into me, and then I knew so many people who had gone to the end of their rope and was able to pull themselves back,
Mm,
including myself.
yeah.
And so that's how the whole song, and it just started to, I had so many words for that song. If you ever, that song would have been long from here to Jericho. I had so much in it. I had to, I had to
So
decide what to put in.
maybe you need to write with the
A sequel.
remnants,
Yeah.
because that's pretty much it. Is what is left back from that song. You need to write another song.
Yep. I got the words, and that's how some of my songs are. A lot of them, I just throw everything in the kitchen sink, what comes in my head, my mind, and my heart onto the paper, and then when I start to carve and dissect, I'm like, oh Jesus, all of these words are gonna leave out, but the song takes you where it wants to go.
Right, right, right.
And but that was a song of encouragement for me, and inner strength, and showing people that you can make it. It's like I'm told that it became an anthem for a lot of people. It
Yes, it
became an
did.
anthem, and praise God for that, because I want to affect people's life in a positive way. I love to sing love songs and stuff, but because that's what naturally comes out of me every time I open my mouth to write, to sing, or to write. It's always a love song coming out, or some kind of. But I wanted to do just more, a different type of love song.
Right, right.
Loving yourself and being strong for you, and bouncing back, and not being bowled over by every enemy that comes near you. So
I
in
know.
terms of everything
I
that is
love
opposition.
what the production with Perry's trumpet on it and everything.
Yeah,
It just
yeah,
it just adds to it in a very
it
special way for
does.
me because trumpet was my very first musical instrument that I played.
Yes, I heard you say that the other day, and I said, "What? Look at
Yes.
this!" Yeah, and
I
now you do what? Drums or guitar?
I played brass for 20 plus years.
Wow.
Um I dibble and dabble with the bass, I dibble and dabble with the keys. I
Mm-hmm.
drums is my baby,
Yeah,
so
talented all around. I need to turn the mic around on you now and start
we'd have
interviewing.
time, we'd have time.
Yes, the story long. Like my mother said, water more than flour.
Right. We'd have time. But
Time.
yeah, um and for those listening in, listen, this is just a piece of who Novelty is. The little half an hour that we go through and do who that doesn't really, it barely scratches the surface because
Mhm.
Novelty has music out there for years, and
Wow.
some of it is just coming into circulation
Hmm.
because, like fine wine, you can't really crack that bottle or that keg before the right time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And hopefully there's lots more coming. We're about to drop. Just while I'm on you here, I'm the
Yeah,
plug. We have a Christmas EP coming out, orchestrated by Hopeton Lindo
I
and
saw that.
Ari Penn. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's gonna be coming out pretty soon. It's a feel it Christmas, so we're still gonna be feeling it
Mm-hmm.
this Christmas, different type of vibes, and
Yeah.
it's gonna drop soon. So we hope for the support on that too, and it's
Nice.
gonna be nice. It's gonna be nice. Ari Penn not put out no rubbish, so it's Hopeton Lindo at the helm.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good,
Like
and we
love
have
won't
some
let us
awesome
wait.
people on it. Love Won't Let Us Wait was, I mean, that was another just phenomenal song written by Peter G. I mean, Peter took the quick cake for that, the whole of that. That's
Mm.
just an excellently written song, and I'm so glad that they asked me to come and give my little taste of it, my take on it,
Mm.
and join with them on that. And I was over the moon. I was so happy that they asked me, and when I did it, it just came out right. It just worked,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's one of those things that just worked, and I was amazed at the response, that we got for that song, which was
You seem to
just
be surprised when people take to your music for some reason. I don't know why. But listen, whatever you do, do not
yeah,
lose that.
yeah,
Whatever you do,
yeah,
because the moment you lose that,
yeah.
you it won't make sense anymore.
Yeah, yeah. I don't want to lose it either because I don't want to go about feeling like I'm all that and that everything I touch is going to turn gold. I always pray that it works out, and that it will do what it's supposed to do. I speak what I want to speak over
Right.
it and prophesy my whatever and say, go and do what you need to do now, put it out in the atmosphere. But I'm always surprised because I'm my biggest critic, and then not only that,
Mm.
it's a blessing. You can't take it for granted
Right.
that
Right.
people are gonna like what you do.
Right.
You
Right.
have to just and or that they're gonna want it. It's just it's a blessing. Every time it's like a big present wrapped up, and you don't know what you're gonna get. And you open it and you're like, yes, they like it. You know.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. So I'm just like I said, I'm blessed, and I'm just giving thanks to the Most High God.
So as we're wrapping up this Who Dat segment,
Mhm.
how can people get in touch with you?
All right. Well, my website is actually the easiest way now because when I try to rattle off all the social media things, I get confused. So
Mm-hmm.
if you go to my website, then you have that for every link that you want. So it's simple, noveltymusic.com, all in one, NOVELT music.com. When you go there, you could get all my music, all my videos that are loaded that I've had time to do put on YouTube, and the links to my social medias and everything like that are all there.
Perfect.
All
See,
right.
that's it. You can't ask for nothing more than that now. Go to a one place where it branches off to everything else.
Everything
That
you
is
need.
all
That's
you
just the
need.
easy
Yes.
way.
Now,
So I need to go update it, but it's
I
for
know
the
what
most
you
part
mean.
updated.
I know what you mean. I'm
Yeah, because
so
I'm a one
behind
man
on
show.
mine. Oh my
Yeah, I know.
goodness.
You know what I mean? One man show. I have to find time to put my latest accomplishments on it and stuff like that. But for the most part, the music is there.
Speaking of latest accomplishments, as we close out and I let you go, please introduce this latest track, Keep It Moving. Tell us
Uh-huh.
a little bit about it, introduce it, and then I can keep it
Then we,
moving.
you can keep it moving. That has been a favorite saying of mine. This song, let me properly introduce it for you. So this song that's coming up
Mm-hmm.
is aptly named because it is something that I've been saying for years. That's a part of my vocabulary. And every time I start getting, whether it's cheeky, feisty, or even encouraging somebody else, it's like it always rolls off my tongue. Look, just do this and just keep it moving, okay? And that has been like a thing that I say. And so I decided, you know what, why don't we write a song about keep it moving? And my husband producer Howard Perry always say, you should write a song about that because you say it enough. So, but not only that, the experiences that we've had and that I've had that speaks to even the song Tough Like a Diamond. I realized that the fights that I've been through, whether spiritually, physically, any alley you want to put to it, you know, it's been one of those things that try to wipe the smile off your face or try to make you walk with 10 paces behind everybody with your head down because you don't have any energy, right? But
Right.
when I think about that and I think about the goodness of God and where we've come, even as a people, regardless of our struggles,
Yeah.
we've been able to keep it moving. And so I say, when the enemy comes in like a flood, our God will raise up a standard against them. So let's just keep it moving.
Yep.
And with that said, here comes Keep It Moving.
Novelty, I want to thank you very much. You take care. We will talk. Heal up here for me.
Thank you, I will. Thank you guys. Love you guys and thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, Novelty, Reggae Global Radio's Artist of the Month of November.
Thank you, RG.
Take care.
Blessings. All right. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
The track is called Keep It Moving.